So we are discussing investment options for entry level professionals. Investment options for entry level professionals. Now, I agree to speak on this very thing because I think that if you are kickstarting your career, one of the most important things that will be good to know is knowing where you can start diverting your resources into once they start coming into your hand. All right. So that's why I think that this session is very important, and it is good that as an entry level professional you are abreast with it. Now, I expect that all of us here are either third year to final year, or we are in or we graduated in the last 2 or 3 years, or in the last 4 years. I mean, whatever be the case, um, I want to believe that you fall within this range, and that the objective of this session is going to really realize with you, or at the end of the day, you are going to benefit so much from it. So, we are discussing investment options for entry level professionals. I would not say I'm out of the entry level zone. Personally, I think I'm part of the entry level zone. And oftentimes, I have observed one thing. Most entry level professionals think that they are. Hello. Right. So, yeah. So, I realize that
I
most
can
entry
hear you,
level
please.
professionals. Okay, perfect. So, I realize that most entry level professionals normally they think that they have nothing. Like, we do not have the money, we do not have the resource. So, if you are talking about investment, yes, we may be interested, but we don't have what it takes, or the resource to commit to it. But I think that it's a no. I mean, entry level professionals have more than enough resources to. Right. I think the connection dropped a little. Right. So I was speaking on the fact that oftentimes entry level professionals think they have not yet earned enough. They do not have enough resources to commit to investment and all of that. But I am of the belief that this is not the case. But entry level professionals have enough resource, they have what it takes to invest, and they can also start enjoying the big returns we are seeing on investment options available. So yes, in my opinion, I think that entry level professionals at least have these three. Every entry level professional, right, has these three resources that they can invest. And the very first I want to talk about is time. Entry level professionals have time. I mean, I'm sure you are under your 30s or under your 25. So, I mean, if you are living for the labor law, work limit is up to 60. So, at least you have um, now till you are 60. If you are 25, that means that 35 more. So you have a lot of time, and I think that entry level professionals oftentimes are characterized with um, one less activity. Of course, if you're an entry level professional, the chances that you are not married is high. So you are not married, your how do you call it, the people you take care of are not as many as you may think of. You are not so much occupied with activities. And as an entry level professional, I don't know where you may find yourself, but I think that your workload is not as someone who has been in the business for maybe 5 to 10 years, right? So entry level professionals normally have some space within their work schedules, right? And that is the time that I'm trying to talk about. Aside that, you also have a longer time ahead of you to work. So that is a resource to you. I think it is a resource that you can invest. Now, the second resource I'll talk about is you have energy. As an entry level professional, you are youthful. I think you are youthful. You are very energetic. Your brain is so fresh. You can accumulate a lot and all of that. And this energy I'm talking about is a resource. Maybe you have not taken note of it, but the energy, the kind of strength that you have, the kind of mind that you have, I mean, you are not so burdened. So you have a fresh brain, you can be able to learn much, absorb a lot, and all of that. So this is also a resource to you as an entry level professional. So time is one. Two, you have a resource of energy. Now, when you were very young, you wanted to be youthful. You wanted to be, I'm sure, the age that you are now. Those who are also in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, they also desire to be, they also wish that they are in their 20s or their young stages now. So the current age or your current state is one of the best stages of life, right? So that is a resource. That energy, that enthusiasm, your ability to move, you can juggle between multiple tasks. I mean, you can decide to sleep only 5 to 8 hours and be comfortable. You don't have waist pains, you don't have knee pains, you are not so much stressed like someone who is taking care of multiple things, right? So this energy that you have is a resource to you. And then the very last resource I'll talk about is some money. At least you can't tell me you have nothing. Like, you have some money, right? As an entry level professional, even if it is national service that you are doing, you are earning 715. Some of you, your companies are paying 1,000, 1,000 to 1,005. Some are even taking 2,000. This is also a resource. Maybe you think it is not enough, but look, it is a resource in your hand, right? And you can invest it. So I'm refuting the claim that entry-level professionals do not have enough resource to invest. At least you have the resource of time, you have the resource of energy, and you have the resource of money. Now, one thing you have to understand is that at this stage of your life, right, the kind of investment required of you to make, right, if you want to be that great person you want to see yourself in the next 10, 20 years, right, is a combination of both financial and non-financial investment. It's not just financial investment that you need. You need a combination of financial and non-financial investment. And I'm going to talk about blend all of these things. Okay, so we move from here. Now, the very first investment option that I have for you as an entry level professional is you. Yes, you. You that you are online right now, you are an investment option. 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, right? Beautiful and handsome. You are an investment option. So, if you, as an entry level professional, if you are looking at the best paying investment options available to you, you don't have to look beyond yourself. You are a great asset that you can.
Thank you.
An investment option. You can choose to commit your time, your energy, and then your financial resource into investing in you. And I'm talking about investing in your knowledge, investing, I mean, in yourself, building um, um, capacity to do great work, right? So that you become a wanted, or yes, let me put it that way, a wanted talent by your industry. So at this stage of your life that you just finished undergraduate school, you are just juggling between small tasks and all of that. One of the great assets that you can commit your time, you can commit your energy, and you can commit your money, the little money that you have to invest in, is yourself. And so when I talk about investing in yourself, it's about investing in your skills. Get over that course, like buy course. Today courses are free everywhere. There are some you have to pay. If you are doing national service, no matter how small your allowance is, look, set a portion of it into a certain certification. Maybe you are into accounting, you are into core accounting, ACCA is there, ICA is there, right? You can commit the money the time. You can commit the free time that you get, the leisures, into studying for it. The energy, because you have fresh brain, you just completed undergrad. I mean, learning will not be that difficult than, I mean, pausing studies till maybe you are after 5 years, then you come and say I'm doing ACC. It becomes so difficult for you. So at this stage of your life, right, you are a, you are the best, or you should be the top priority in your investment asset list, or on your portfolio list. The greatest financial asset investor, and let me say the greatest investor of all time, as we all know, Warren Buffett once said, the most important investment you can make is in yourself. This is the greatest investor of stocks, or let's say the greatest investor of all time. Eh? He said the most important investment you can make is in yourself. And more specifically, the most important investment you can make as an entry level professional is in yourself. So that small money you get, commit some into courses, commit some into books, commit some in the time that you have, the energy, commit some into mentorship program. That is why I'm excited that all of you are part of this session, because at the end of the day, it's going to contribute to building you up, right, to become a great person in your field. So you have to commit some into learning financial wisdom. Look, from now till, I mean, you retire, you are going to be working and money is going to pass through your mind. So the time that you have right now, the energy, right, that you have, commit some into learning about money, financial management, basic money principles. Because at the end of the day, if you are making all the money and your financial wisdom is below the bar, you end up, you will not be making the best decisions. So after acquiring all the certificates, acquiring all the skills to land a good job, you cannot afford to be the worst manager of finances. I mean, who would want to do that? But funny enough, most people have become victims of this. They have invested to acquiring skills and certifications. They have gotten a job. They are earning, but because of their the fact that they are not financially wise, or their financial illiteracy or literacy level is low, they are unable to make the best decisions as to where to direct those financial resources that comes to their hand. And it is very true that an investment in oneself is what pays the best, right? Broadly, if you invest in yourself, you have a potential of earning high, getting better road that will pay you higher. When you invest in yourself, acquiring skills, you get more opportunities. Opportunities will walk to you. If you are that sophisticated, you can do this, you can do that, that kind of thing. You can't just use Excel, you can use Python, you can use Power BI, you can do multiple things. You can be able to attempt more opportunities than someone who probably can use only Excel, right? Again, if you invest in yourself, it's just a compound of knowledge. You become very knowledgeable about many things, right? You need to learn a little bit about, if you want to be a business manager, you need to learn a little bit about marketing, about sales, about human resource, about compliance, about law, about tax. Do you get it? So that you can supervise well. So if you're an accountant, unless you just want to be that junior accountant or middle level accountant for the rest of your life, but if you are going to become a CFO, right, or a chief internal control officer, you need to know a lot of things beyond accounting. You need to know law and casa, like, you get it. So an investment in yourself, again, it also help you grow confidence and build a very good brand, right? And on top of it all, it helps you make better decisions. At the end of the day, you become more knowledgeable, more wiser. So an investment in yourself really pays the best return. You can get the best return on investment from that. And at the end of the day, if you invest in yourself, the ROI can only come to you. and the excess will be a benefit to society, a benefit to your country, a benefit to your region, to your continent, and to the world. Now, I want us to take a case study of one who chooses to invest in himself or herself to one who does not, right? Practically in Ghana, especially in the government sector, if you are working in the government sector, promotion is due only after 3 years. Like, you only get promoted after, you get it? You only get promoted after 3 years. However, if you acquire a higher learning certification, you are promoted automatically. The 3 year rule doesn't apply to you. So, for example, you are a worker in a particular ministry, right, with a degree. You will only be promoted after 3 years, or you'll be due for promotion after 3 years. Let me not say you'll be promoted. Let me say you'll be due for promotion after 3 years, after every 3 years. But if you add masters, if you add a chartered certification, you are promoted from that very day. So if you started and in the first year of work you add a new certification, you are promoted. So you see, you don't have to wait for the system to promote you. You have to promote yourself. And how do you do that? By investing in yourself. And funny enough, this promotion that comes with 3 years, comes at the end of every 3 years, comes with some 200 CD, 100 CD, 150 CD, 300 CDs salary increments. But when you add a certification, it can come with an increment of 10, 20, 30, 50%. And you see, even if your current role is not willing to or cannot afford you, now you have upgraded yourself and you can be able to attempt opportunities that requires your level of knowledge and certification, and you will command a higher salary. So I did this curve. If you are investing yourself, right, every year you are adding new skills, you'll be promoting yourself faster than someone who will be waiting after 3 years, then after 3 years, then after 3 years. Sometimes the 3 years will get to and they will not even process your promotion. I'm sure you've heard of these things before. Like, it's by choice that they promote you. Yes, you are due for promotion, but it is by choice that whoever is supposed to facilitate that does it for you. But when you upgrade yourself, the system, it is an error for you to have masters and probably be earning the level that you were earning at a degree. So automatically you have promoted yourself, like by virtue of investing in yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first, and I think is one of the ideal investment options that you should look at as an entry level professional. It pays the best return. The greatest investor of all time has confirmed it. Said the most important investment you can make is an investment in yourself. And one thing you have to understand is that for you to even excel in the other investment options, right, you need to have a certain level of knowledge, a certain level of understanding, a certain combination of skills for you to be able to excel. So if you don't even invest yourself in learning financial literacy, in understanding investment products, financial return dynamics, and all of that, how can you be able to select the best stocks or compare and contrast? If you cannot afford a financial advisor, then you have to do it by yourself. Do you get it? So investment in yourself is central. It pays the best return. Like, its ROI cannot be quantified. And so this is the first option that I wanted to share with you. Now let's go to the second option, and I talk about business. Look, the next set of businesses that are going to do well, right, in the next 10, 15, 20 years, the ideation stage is now. All the businesses that you see around that you wish you are working with them, The ideation stage was 20 years ago. At that time, some people were entry level professionals. Now, today you are an entry level professional, and today you are an entry level professional, and a new set of businesses that are going to do very well are commencing in this season. Like they are at their ideation stage, and some of them will come from your friends, some of them will come from your siblings, some of them will come from your course mates. At this stage of your life, I think one of the ideal options that you should look out for is the next big business to invest in. And it does not require your financial commitment. Some of them, it just require your time to be part of it. Some of your friends are generating insightful ideas. Sometimes you don't even look at and like appreciate how they will implement it. But some of them, they will just say, hey, please, can you come on board? I just want to have you around. Just be part of this. Just support me. And it looks so, it doesn't look so promising and all of that. But look, out of this multitude of ideas that your friends are generating, including you yourself, you are generating, some of them are going to blow up. And so, at this point in your life, or as an entry level professional, I think that the time that you have, the energy that you have, and the little financial resource that you have, one of the great investment options that you can consider is the opportunity of the next big business. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Your friend, some of your friends are trying to, establish something. They hold here, it seems not to be working. Sometimes you see and you generate insightful ideas on it. Recommend it to them. If they invite you to be part, don't shy away from it. Be part, be part, be part. We've read of the Facebook story, we've read of all the stories. It was their friends. It didn't look promising, right? But at the end of the day, look at it. Today, some of their friends regret. I wish I just. And that time, it didn't require their money. The same way, right now, some of your friends are generating ideas. They don't require your money. They just require your time. Just be part of them putting together the ideas. Some of them, they'll say, join me. Let's go and pitch. And just follow them. Say, help me with this. Don't run away. Try and be part. It's an opportunity. You don't know. You don't know how it may turn out to be. So this is a good investment option that I think you can commit the time you have. I think you can commit the financial resource that you have. I think you can commit the energy that you have. Right, the ideas contribute. Sometimes you see some of your friends, they've not invited you, but when you see them trying to do it, right, you get insight. Make recommendations to them. Guy, I think if you do it this way, it will work. Right? Suggest to them, and they will pick it. If it turns out to be big, yeah, you are the next co co-manager or co-founder, and that is it. A new set of businesses are going to rise in the next 10, in the next 20, in the next 15 years, and you are going to be seeing it with your eyes. Some of them are starting now. If they invite you, make sure you are part. Don't run away. Now, the best thing is that, or the most interesting thing with this investment option is that it is not really requiring your financial commitment. Most of them, they don't even say that bring money, or if it is even requiring, sometimes they will just say, oh, bring some small coins, maybe bring some 2,000, some 5,000, some 10,000, some 20,000, right? If you wait and now probably after 10 years you yourself want to put up that kind of business, that time maybe you may need some 500,000 or a million to do that. But today something small is starting up, and they just need your time, they just need your energy, your morale. Some of them, you can't contribute anything, but you can just give them, bro, go ahead, I feel like this is going to work, right? Like, encourage them, be that drive, right? And they will remember you. This is high risk, even though as an entry level professional, a business is not a high risk venture. You are not committing a lot of finance. You are only committing time and some small energy. And it also it gives you control over making decisions. At the end of the day, you are taking the decision. So like I said, I have a point here that requires significant capital, but as an entry level professional, it doesn't really apply to you. But the effort apply to you. Effort to be successful. This is the time that you have enough time. When you close from work at 4:30 p.m., there's no wife at home to call you to say that come home by 5 or by 6. No. Sometimes you can spend extra 30 minutes helping your friend, joining his Zoom call with him, and then all of that. And this thing that I'm talking about, the practicality that yes, I'm getting some every now and then. I get my friends, bro. I think we can do this. I think yeah, I want to do this. What do you think? Can you advise me on this? Right? It is a great opportunity. I say, oh, I'm interested. Oh, I'm interested. Oh, I'm interested. I'm always interested. Because you don't know. In fact, the Bible said that in the morning sow your seed. And in the evening withhold not your hand. Because you don't know which one. So when you have the opportunity, just some small 30 minutes that you have to commit a week, some small 1 hour that you have to commit yourself into it. So like I said, the investment that you have to make is not just financial investment. Some of these things are very important. Now let me move on to the next investment option. So the next investment option, I call it the others, right? I call it the others. I call it the others, and I think that these ones also are very, very, very important. But for me, right, my core is what I shared with you, the two I've shared. Now, the others are the financial investment options available, right? You have time. Like I said, one of your greatest resources is time. Oh, is time. You have time. You have time. If you are 25 years now, you have at least 35 years, right, to invest. Even if you decide to save 1 cedi a day, right, 1 cedi, 364 cedis, 365 cedis a year, it goes on. Even by 60 years, you have something, and you can save more than 1 cedi. You can save, even if you are doing NSS, you can save 50 cedis. You can save 100 cedis a month. You can save 200 cedis a month. So you have to commit yourself to some financial investments, and I'm going to be speaking on some of them. Now, the first one I want to speak on is the stock market, right? The stock market or stocks, equity options, and these are basically investments that gives you ownership or a part ownership of the business that you invest in, and the returns are high. It's a bit risky, but what I'm trying to say is that there are most businesses that they take time to, yeah, because every now and then things are evolving. The greatest investor of all time, again, Warren Buffett, and over 80% of his wealth after 50 years of investing. Some of his companies, they just blew up. It's just recently that they blew up. Some new things came and it blew, and then he became billionaire. He had multiple billion USD. So locally, there are stocks that will do well. Just 3 years ago, benzo oil palm plantation was 5 cedis. Today, it is 27, 29 cedis. Right? Like just last year. In fact, the local stock market in the last 24 months has been mind blowing. This year, just January to date alone, we've had stocks that have returned over 180%. As a young person, you can commit. MTN in the last 5 years. Let me use MTN as a case study. MTN in the last 5 years, right, has been consistent with dividends. They have done capital gains year on year. In 2024, as at the time, I was doing this chart, MTN had up just in 2024 about 60%. In 2023, it did 75% on capital gain. 2022, there was a marginal loss, negative 2%. In 2021, there was 84% gain. In 2020, in 2021, in 2020, there was 3.93% total return. And then in December, just September to December 2018, when it came to market, it earned 11%. MTN is like what Ghana's people say Ghana's Nvidia. Like some of these companies are there, right? Put money inside. Like put money inside your small 50 cities. Stocks on the local base are we have stocks as low as 8 pesos, 6 pesos, 10 pesos, 1 cedi, 2 cedi. The highest price stock or counter on the market is New Gold Exchange Traded Fund. It's about a little close to 400. I think it's around 480 cities now, and that too has been impressive. Just 2018, New Gold ETF was 30 cities. Today it is 490, nearing 500 cities, right? So as a young person, the businesses that will do well, right? Maybe you may not find them on the local base, but there is an opportunity today due to growing digital platforms. You can even be here and be investing in US stocks and all of that. So stock is also one ideal investment. And if you are not doing business, yes, you can do stocks. You don't have to own all of the company. You can buy some stocks, add it to your portfolio. So if you are growing yourself, you are investing in yourself to acquire skills. You are growing your traditional income side. Now, as you are growing your traditional income, you divert some into financial investment, and then because you have increased your understanding, you have invested in yourself to know better, you can pick the best stocks, and then the best stocks will be paying capital gains and all of that. See, there are people who don't touch their salary, like they earn a lot from the outside. There are people they travel and everything with their investment returns, right? As a young person, you have a lot of um um you have a lot of time, you have a lot of the resources that you have. Start committing. If you start doing 50 cities in 1 year, even if you are in your national service years, you do 12 months of national service. If you do 50 cities, 512 is 6, you have 600, right? The compound effect. The following year, maybe you get a full-time job, so you can be able to invest 200 cities a month, and then you commit 200. Now you have 2,400. They have 3,000 in year one already, and then it goes on. So the more you invest, and you know of the compounding effect. If you have more time, right? You that you are 25 years right now, if you are saving the same amount of money every month, right? Eh? And it will take you 20 years to reach a million Ghana cedis. By the time you reach a million, you are 45 years. But if someone is 40 years and is also saving the same amount of money, and your goal is 1 million, by the time he reaches 1 million, he or she is 65 years. So you see, you are at the best stage of your life where you can make quality investment, and so you do not have to joke with it at all. So stocks, as you all know, is an ideal option. The next options that we have, so yes, the stocks not just local. You can do SSA, you can do US, S&P 500 index stocks, and all of that. And I have some charts here on SSA market returns. Yes, I have some charts here on SSA market returns. Now, as at the time that I was preparing this very slide, the SSA market was also doing well. In fact, even though the GSE was beating them, the SSA market was also doing exceptionally well. And I think that if you look at beyond Ghana, you look at SSA, you look at the other countries, yes, you are going to. So this is the chart I'm talking about, SSA. I think this was done like September 2024. As at the time, BRVM, which is the Francophone Stock Exchange, was doing about, as at the time I was preparing this, the SSA stock, the BRVM, which is the Francophone country, was doing about 23%. At the time, the Nigerian was doing, the all share index of Nigeria was doing about 31%, about 15% for Kenya, Nairobi Stock Exchange, and then for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange was doing about 10%. Maybe Ghana may be too small. Ghana, we have just about 34 counters, but Nigeria has over 152 listed companies, right? And you can take advantage of it. And all of this, if you research, you know the processes you have to go through to acquire stocks in those countries, in US and all of that. And like I said, now there are digital platforms. Now the others, I'll also talk about like the fixed income. Of course, the treasury bill is there. Like if nothing at all, there's a treasury bill to invest. Now the rate is between 15 to 17 to or 18%. Yes, you can be getting something small, right? To be at least taking care of your inflation. If you look at forward inflation, as projected by the ministry, stroke IMF, we are expecting 11% by year end. So if you buy a treasury bill 364 day at 18% right now, you still even have a real return of some 7% to deal with, right? So even treasury bill is not like, what I would say is that it shouldn't be that you are not investing at all. No, because at least there is something to take care of your inflation. There are also like the traded funds like the new gold ETF and then other offshore ETFs. Now, offshore ETFs have done exceptionally well in 2024. It was mind blowing. And the chart that you can see, like these are offshore stocks like Nvidia last year. Some of you may have known the performance. Meta was exceptionally up. Direxin Daily Financial, yes, S&P 500 ETF Trust was there and all of that. So yes, equities are also equally ideal option. And the ETFs, US ETFs, S&P 500 ETF Trust, exceptional. Daily Financial Boothrex shares, exceptional. So yes, the opportunity is for you. Is there for you a lot, and no matter how small, as you are building yourself, your traditional income will be increasing, and you'll be able to increase your financial investment as well, like investment in financial products as well. Of course, the commodities are there. Thank God now we have the gold coin. The gold coin is up 15% now. With what Trump is doing in the US, we've seen that a lot of people are looking for safe haven, and the gold has become an ideal option. The gold coin, I think that now you need about 10,000 plus to get an ounce, but very soon most people are going to create products that will invest in the gold coin, right? Which is like mutual fund or trust funds and all of that, and you can take advantage of it. If you cannot do the gold coin, you can do the new gold ETF, which is a gold backed ETF, which does a lot. You can also do, yes, the fixed income. I won't talk about bonds because the bond conversation we will drag it because we will drag it, so I won't talk about bonds. So yes, and worst of it all, cash and cash equivalent. I mean the savings account and all of that. Me in particular, right? Let me just share. Me in particular, I don't use current account. I don't use savings account. No, I don't do fixed deposit. I don't do treasury bill. But it is based on my risk appetite level, right? So you do things based on your risk level. So for me, my savings is like a mutual fund, right? And I'm doing that because I want to deal with impulses. You need to know. I mean, sometimes you realize that the reason why you cannot save is that when you close from work, there's that plantain chips, there's that snack that you go and get. It's 5, it's 10 cedis. And before you realize you are getting it every day, if it is 10 cedis and you go to work 20 times in a month, that's 200 cedis you've spent on it. So sometimes you have to strategize and deal with your impulses. And for me, like to deal with that, I my savings or my current account is a mutual fund, and I have a 24-hour rule. At every point, after every 24 hours, at every point in time, the only money I have with myself is money I can use in 24 hours. I don't go beyond keeping cash to be able to waste it, but that is my way, right? You need to know yourself. Know, like, some of us, we've grown to a level that when we say we won't touch. Like, we won't touch it, we won't touch. Like, that discipline, we have built it. So at this point in your life, you have to build the discipline. You have to yes, like I said, if you are investing yourself in financial literacy wise, you are going to be building all of these things. You are going to discipline yourself financially. You are going to have priority with regards to your finances and where your money goes and all of that. And at the end of the day, trust me, this is a great opportunity to choose the kind of old man you want to become, right? The kind of 40-year-old, the kind of 30-year-old, the kind of 60-year-old. And so, and that is going to be as a result of the decisions and the investment and the commitment that they are making today. At the end of the day, if they are, I can I can assure you that if they are going into your quality, if they are going into business quality, if they are going into investment, financial product quality, right, you are going to be earning the best ROI. And in the next few years, yes, you can also be doing some of the things that you have stressed yourself to do right now. So, yes, ACC is there, ICA is there, GISI is there. Do you know that right now? The scarce the if you are in the financial industry, for instance, right, even with GISI alone, you can have a role easily. GISI, personally, one of the things that I did is that when I was doing my national service, all my national service money, right, I'm not saying all, but a portion of it was going into a course. So even though I have not been able to finish within, I expected to finish like by end of the service, right, but I couldn't do. But the money for it, I kept it. Just I didn't have the time to write the paper. And I saved that from my national. I've read people say, look, I saved from my national service, and after I got something else to top up to do my masters. So your national service money is not free money to. It is there is a capital component, there is a seed component out of it. Don't squander it all. Thankfully, the money comes in like 3 months, 6 months, and they come together like you have 2,000 at once, 3,000 at once, and you choose to squander or no. As you have sacrificed to go through 3 months and it has come, be bold to take maybe 1 month equivalent of it and commit to something else. And this is it. So yes, my ideal investment option for you, ladies and gentlemen, as an entry level professional, is number one, you, number two, a business, number three, others, which is um the financial investment options that are available to you. For the sake of time, I think I've been speaking for the last 43 minutes, and we will have to pause here so that we can have a Q&A session. I want to believe that this has been good to your ears, right? So we'll pause here, Esther. If you are on, let's have a Q&A session so that we can move, we can proceed, right? So a Q&A session from now. So I think the rules
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the question. Please, am I audible?
yes, please, you are audible.
Hello, please, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so at this point, we would like to take questions. Okay, we would like to take questions. If you have any question, kindly show by hand so I call you.
You are Namukasa. Oh,
Right. I want to ask, before you buy stock on the professional level, what are some of the things you look out for, or what goes into your analysis? Technical analysis at your level, or technical analysis retail trades? Thank you.
Okay, so at my level, um, currently we have a market which is just a weak to semi-strong, or yes, a weak to semi-strong level, which is the I'm talking about the local market. And so sometimes um, the numbers may show that you should be buying, but there's other circumstances will not permit the stock to move, right? And so for me, because I work directly on some of these things, I have come to appreciate the dynamics of most of the, or let me say, of the key stocks, right? Of the key stocks. And so when you talk, when you want to talk about banks, um, I look at the regulatory. Bank is the bank is a heavily regulated um, business. So I look at what is coming from the regulatory side. I look at the strategy of the business. I look at what the business is trying to say in next steps, and then at the end of the day, I make a position. But generally, even with an uninformed person, you have to be interested in the financial performance of the business, and then you have to be interested in the going concern of the business. Um, at the end of the day, if the business is doing well financially, you can be guaranteed that more people will be interested in the stock, and that could be driving capital gains. Now, for the local market, apart from MTN and a few others, dividend is not a common thing, right? So for me, normally when I'm making recommendations, for instance, or when I'm looking at stocks, I look at where there is a capital gain side more than a dividend side. I look at the capital gain opportunity more than a dividend opportunity, because the market is just MTN, FMCGs, and the banks. And most of the time, the banks are are under pressure from the regulatory side. I mean, if you look at what has happened in the last 8 years, you realize that it's been pit and mount. It's been mountain and valley, so up and down and all of that. So some of the time, sometimes you see opportunity in them, right? But you realize that the other things will not work it for the stock to drive it. But generally, right, if you know how to do valuation, do, and then you know the capital gain side. Like I mentioned, I look at the capital gain side more than the dividend side. And then second thing is that just be guaranteed with the going concern of the business, and look at the current circumstances from the regulatory point, from the economic point, the policy. Like there is a new government, their policies, the tax policies, um, new leaders of some of the regulatory institutions. You have to look at their um, administrative styles, right? To look at how things will play out in the company. And if I want to use MTN as an example, Sam George is the new NCA boss. No, is it? No, the Sam George is the new information and um, information technology and yes, boss. So he has his style. I've been listening to him. There is a way he wants to go with the telco industry, and I'm trying to look at how it is going to be for MTN, and if any telco would want to list, how it's going to be for them. So you have to try and look at it from the regulatory point, the business itself point, going concern financially. You have to look at the policies that the government is bringing on board. Is it something that the business can still be able to confidently sell and make revenue and bring in profit, or and all of that? But yeah, but if you are a finance and accounting person, I think you can do some numbers work to support your decisions. I don't know if I've been able to answer you correctly.
Yeah, yeah, you have. Just that for most part, my sound was breaking, so I didn't hear part of it. But is it possible to get your contact or something so that some of us can reach you actually speak?
Yes, yes, please. It will be available.
Okay. But then I also didn't hear anything about the technical analysis part, or probably because my sound was breaking. So if you can speak on that for me.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. So the technical side is one, the primary or the fundamental is that you need to know the value. Like like the valuation of the stock, right? And then you need to look at, let me say, a general observation. Normally in Ghana, if you are seeing a 40% intrinsic or a 40% upside, right? Just, just. So you need to look at the 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 after you've done valuation. If you are getting, let's say, 40%, sometimes just apply some illiquidity or look at the stocks, right? Look, EcoBank is on the market. It is my currently, as of today, it is my it is on top of my recommended list, right? But you won't get some to buy. In fact, I have an order for like over over 1 month. I've not gotten some to buy. Liquidity is tight. So EcoBank, for instance, right, is earning 5 Ghana cedis per share. And the price is 61 pesos now. I don't know if it has moved, but 61 pesos now. There has been a bid of over 50,000 shares on the counter. Nobody is selling. And it's because the stock is tightly held. Like, the kind of people who own the shares are not people who like to sell. So you may do evaluation and for a bank earning 5 cedis, it should be selling at about, banks in Ghana averagely trade somewhere 1.5 to 2.5 to 3 times of earnings. Best case is like 3 times of earning, like we are seeing now. Currently it should be trading around 1.5. At worst case, should be trading 1.5 to earnings. So you may do evaluation and see 10 cedi, but it will not move to 10 because nobody is willing to even sell for a trade to move up. And I've seen that people are bidding around 60 to 70 pesos, 60 to 80 pesos, but nobody is willing to sell. So the technical, the best is the valuation, like know the valuation, right? And then the rest is the analytical side where you add the macro, the micros to be able to yes, to conclude on your decision. I think we can proceed with the next person's question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Hi, please, if you have a question, kindly unmute yourself and speak.
I think someone the call. Kindly go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to commend you for an awesome presentation. And this is actually my first time, getting to, join a presentation. But getting you to, speak on some of these issues is kind of hard. But I'm happy I was able. So I wanted to find out what's your position an entry level professional like myself.
Hi, Samuel. Samuel, I think we
It's
lost you.
actually something that I
Sorry,
prefer.
we lost you along the line, so you may.
Okay, hello. Hello.
Yes, please, I
Yes,
can
Can I
please,
hear
we
go
can
you.
on?
hear you now.
Okay, so my question was that would you
Yes.
recommend first trading to an entry level professional, and then and also if I want to buy an equity, what brokerage firms would you recommend with regards to getting a trading account? Because personally, I don't think I can equally go to the market and then buy.